Hey guys, it's Teppo here. In today's episode, I'm going to explain to you guys what the hype is about the Apple ProRes log and how to color grade it. So a few weeks back, the announcement for the iPhone 15 was made, and from a filmmaker's perspective, the most exciting news wasn't the fact that there's gonna be new camera lenses or a faster processor, but it was the fact that we're gonna be able to finally film an Apple ProRes log. So what on earth is Apple ProRes log and why is it exciting for filmmakers? Well, basically, Apple ProRes log is a picture profile they're gonna be able to film with the iPhone 15 that's gonna give you a very flat picture profile. It's gonna be less processed and it's gonna give you more dynamic range. In the past, when you filmed with your iPhone, it's gonna automatically add in contrast and saturation and its own look into the image, which was often a dead giveaway that was mobile phone footage. Whereas now with ProRes log, you're gonna be able to finally get an image coming out of your iPhone that doesn't have that digital sharp look. I mean, just look at the normal video footage coming out of the iPhone 15 Pro. It's got that ugly digital sharp look versus if I film with Apple ProRes log, correct it, it looks much more cinematic, and as well there's much more flexibility in post to color grade. So how do you shoot in ProRes log? Well, you're gonna wanna grab your iPhone 15, you're gonna go to settings, scroll down to camera, and then from camera, select formats. From there, you're gonna scroll down to the bottom and you're gonna see video capture and it's gonna say Apple ProRes, and you're gonna just toggle that on, and then from there, choose ProRes encoding, make sure it's on log, and from there, once you go to the native camera app, you select video, and on the top left corner, you're gonna see ProRes log, and you're gonna turn that on, and voila, now you're able to film ProRes log with your iPhone 15 Pro. Now, a few things to take into consideration when filming with Apple ProRes log. The file sizes are gonna be really big, so I would highly recommend filming and recording straight to an SSD drive. Now with the iPhone 15 Pro having now USB-C, it's really easy to just plug and play an SSD drive straight to your iPhone, and then you can record directly here and plug and play into your MacBook Pro and start editing from there. As well, if you want to film in 4K 60 frames per second with Apple ProRes log, you can only record it to an external drive. So if you want to have that nice cinematic slow motion, just use an SSD drive and record directly there. I gotta figure out some sort of holder for this. Maybe there's gonna be new cases soon that's gonna hold an SSD drive, but I was literally in Iceland just filming like this. A little bit sketchy, but it did the job. So how do you color grade Apple ProRes log? I had the privilege a week ago of traveling to Iceland, and I ended up filming a whole travel film from Iceland completely on the iPhone 15 Pro. So we're gonna take that footage and I'm gonna show you how to color correct and color grade the Apple ProRes log footage. If you haven't seen the travel film that I shot from Iceland, actually I carded it right here. Just open that up, enjoy it. It's only 1.5 minutes long, and then you're gonna be able to watch and enjoy how I color grade that footage. Also, if you did already see the travel film and you really enjoyed the music and sound effects from that piece, all of it's from Artlist. Artlist is actually the sponsor of this episode and a long-term partner of my channel. So thank you, Artlist, for literally making it possible for me to travel around the world, making great content for this community to enjoy. If you are a content creator doing personal work for your social media channels, or you're a filmmaker creating content commercially, Artlist has specific plans catered to you. The social plan, which gives you licenses for your own social media channels, goes for only $9.99, and that gives you access to literally thousands of high quality songs for your videos, and as well their whole sound effects library. And then the Pro Music and Sound Effects plan, which is for commercial work, goes for only $16.58, and that's gonna give you licensing for all their music and sound effects to use, whether that's a project online or commercially on TV, which is just insane. Because I remember back in the day when I was shooting weddings, I would literally pay a few $100s per song. That's right, per song I was paying a few $100s, and now for just $16.58 a month, you get access to their whole library, licensed and available to use for all of your projects. Oh, if only I would have known about Artlist back then, I would have saved so much money, and I'd probably be shooting on like a Red right now. Also, if you're a content creator and you notice that you're often using stock footage in your projects, or you're always looking for new plugins and templates, I'd highly recommend checking out their Artlist Max plan, which includes everything. That's right, you get access to their music, their sound effects, their cinematic stock footage, plugins, templates, everything, and it's a very affordable price of only $39.99 per month. I know for myself personally, the Artlist Max plan has definitely helped me step up the quality in all my short form content and for my long form videos, and as well, it's just sped up the whole process. So if you're into making better content and saving a whole bunch of time, I'd highly recommend checking out Artlist Max. As well, Artlist has been kind enough to offer 2 months free if you use the link in my description, so click that, and after the video, go and explore Artlist and see what they have to offer you. So thanks Artlist, and now let's get back to color grading the ProRes log footage. Now, there's 3 ways to go about this. And the first way, I'm gonna do it in Final Cut Pro, but don't worry if you're not a Final Cut Pro user, the option number 2 and 3 will work in pretty much any editing program. But basically, I'm gonna open up Final Cut Pro, and here I have this cool epic shot of me filming the mountains in Iceland with these clouds all over. And as you can tell, it's filmed in Apple ProRes log, which means it's very flat, very desaturated, and it doesn't actually look that good. Now, the first way to color correct this is to simply just click the footage, go to the information tab, and then go down to basic and select extended. Now, if you don't have this option, make sure you're up to date on your Final Cut Pro. I had to do that because I noticed I was very behind on updates with my Final Cut Pro. But when you've updated it and you click extended, you're gonna see camera LUT. And then from there, you can just select Apple log, and voila, it's color corrected. You know, it's gonna have that contrast and saturation back again in the footage. And then from there, I would just add a custom LUT. And for example, I just released my very own Cinema LUT collection. So I'm gonna go here and choose Cinema LUT 1. And I'm gonna bring down the strength. That's one key with LUTs, especially grading LUTs. Never have it at 100%. You wanna bring it down a little bit. And for this one, I'm gonna choose 70%. And then from there, I'm gonna just add a color wheels. Make sure it's on the top so it's affecting first. And this shot is maybe a little bit cold for me, so I'm gonna go a little bit warmer, and it's a little bit green, so I'm gonna add some magenta. And already, voila, we have the corrected Apple ProRes log footage, and now we have the graded ProRes log footage. So what do you do if you're not using Final Cut Pro? Okay, this is the second way you can do this. So we're just gonna get rid of these. I'm gonna turn off the Apple log. And again, we have just the very flat Apple ProRes log footage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 2 custom LUTs. Basically, any editing program you're using, you're gonna be able to add LUTs. And I'm gonna put 2 custom LUTs. And something that's really interesting is that in my Cinema LUT collection, I offer a conversion LUT for S-Log3 footage. So basically that's log footage from a Sony camera. And because iPhones have Sony sensor and the conversion LUT I made was for Sony cameras, Sony sensors, it actually works really well. So I'm gonna just go here, select my S-Log3 to Rec 79 conversion LUT, and voila, just like that, it's already contrast saturation is back. And again, then we can then add a color grading LUT. So I'm gonna go in color grading LUT, Cinema LUT 1, bring down the percentage to about 70%. And then from there, I'm just gonna add a color wheels, and I'm gonna just impact the warmth a little bit and make it a little bit more magenta. And there we go. We have 3 steps here. So we had the conversion LUT, we have a grading LUT, and then just a little bit of a color correction with the color wheels. So that's the second way that you can color correct and color grade your Apple ProRes log footage. If you haven't yet checked out my Cinema LUT collection, I'll link it below in my description. It's going for $49, 10 grading LUTs and 1 conversion LUT. This will help you so much with your color grading if you find that color grading is difficult. Now, the third way, and maybe the hardest way, but this is the way you can do it if you don't use Final Cut Pro and you don't have the money to invest in my color grading LUTs, I wanna show you how you can manually do this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a color curves, and then I'm gonna add a color wheels. Most editing programs are gonna have these tools. And from there, I'm gonna just make a S curve to make it more contrasty. That's bringing the contrast into the footage. And then from the color wheels, we're gonna go down to global, and we're gonna impact the saturation. Let's bring it all the way down to 2. And there we go. We have brought back the Apple ProRes log to a normal Rec 709. From here, you can also, maybe do a little bit of color correction. So let's try to make it a little bit warmer. I think it was actually good just need a little bit more magenta, and voila. And then if we want to create some sort of color grading look, maybe like a teal and orange, you can add another wheels. And I'm gonna bring the shadows down to a more teal orange. And I'm gonna bring the midtones to a more reddish orange. Let's see how far we can pull these. Maybe I'll add some more shadows to get a little bit more dramatic. Just going back and forth and seeing how far we can pull these. Okay, so there we go. We've got a nice color grading look put onto our footage. Now this was all created with not having Final Cut Pro, because you can use these tools in pretty much any editing program, and not using any of my Cinema LUTs. But the Cinema LUTs do help a lot, so highly recommend checking them out. I'm biased, but I use them on a daily basis, so obviously I want everyone to be using what I'm using because it's helping me so much. But yeah, that's ultimately how easy it is to work with Apple ProRes Log. It can feel a bit daunting at first, but let me tell you, it's actually not that hard, especially if you're using Final Cut Pro. They've literally added the Apple Log LUT for you to use. So yeah, this is me working with the Apple ProRes Log footage. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're new to this community, make sure you subscribe and comment below. Tell me what you think about Apple ProRes Log. Are iPhones gonna be replacing our mirrorless cameras soon? I don't know, it's getting close, but let me know down below what you think.